It's that time of the year again where Shopify release over 150 updates to their platform. It's a pretty exciting time for e-com nerds like me. It's a bit like the release of an iPhone. It's the huge hoo-ha and we get super excited about it. This time though, it's a little bit different and it's a bit boring and not very exciting. And in fact, that's intentional according to Shopify. So intentional, in fact, they call this the boring update. And now they explained why they call it the boring update. You see, when people release software, they always release these epic new features and try and have a big marketing spiel. But what Shopify done is something a little bit differently. They are fixing something called technical debt and they're improving the bugs and the operation and the optimization of the platform. It's actually really smart because they are ironing out the platform so they know that it works and it works really, really well. It gets faster and it's easier to use. So this update is all about just making the platform just that little bit better, that little bit easier to use and that little bit more optimized. Now, however, there are over 150 updates and I went sifting through every single one of those updates last night and I wanted to find some gold that I could get excited about. And I have found some gold. So what I want to do is take you through all the updates I think are really useful and actually a little bit exciting. Plus there's this one update that I've been waiting on for about 12 months. It's finally released and it is a game changer, to be honest. And it's one of those things that we've been talking about for ages. So let's get into the updates I think you're going to like. All these updates can be found at the Shopify website and it is under the Shopify Editions Winter 25. And you can see it's actually themed this boring edition and they do all this little fun sort of animations to make it, I guess, less boring. Now they've listed out what their top updates are. And then what they've also done is on the left-hand side here is broken it down into what category the options apply to. So whether it's online, whether it's retail, whether it's the checkout, marketing, wholesale, etc., etc. Now I'm going to take you through what I think are the best updates for you guys and ones that you can actually implement either now or coming very, very soon. Now the first one that I think is super important to all stores, which I haven't used yet, and I'm really pumped to use it, is actually in the checkout. And the first one is called checkout blocks. Now, usually this had been reserved for Shopify Plus stores, but we're now seeing this on every sort of plan. So what you can see here is we're going to actually be able to add in blocks to some customized pages after checkout. So your thank you page, your order status page, and there's a free app that allows you to do this. Now, I didn't know this app existed. It looks like it has been around for a little while, but they haven't really pushed it and it hasn't really been that useful, but now it is super useful. So the app is called Checkout Blocks. And if you click on this one here, it's going to take you to the App Store so you can install it here. Now I've installed it on one of my stores to have a play around with. And the way it works is you can actually create custom blocks that you can put into your theme in the thank you page and in the order status page, which is actually really cool. So I'll show you the one that I was just playing around with last night. So one of the things we do is when someone places an order at our store, we like to send them to, say, a Facebook group. So what we've done here is we've created this block and the block is dynamic, which means you can put data in there that is related to the order. So what we've done here is if I go and click edit here, I can edit some items. So I've written here, hey, and I've personalized the customer name. I've written some details in here and we can style it however we want. If we click done, and then what I've done here is I've added in a button and I've done join the community now and I'm linking to the Facebook group. But you can actually add in more content items and there's heaps in here. So you could add an accordion if you want to do, say, frequently asked questions. You can add in dividers, headings, all these sorts of things. So you can create sort of all these content blocks that we can then insert on pages on the store. So this is really cool. If I go back and just show you how else you'll do, I'll just discard that. You can then create a block and also gives you options of ones that you can create. So you can create dynamic content and then it gives you different templates. You might want to put a banner in there. You might want to put an accordion. You might want to put support buttons. But where this works is when we go to the theme editor. So we go to online store, we go to edit the theme, customize this. And if we go here and we click checkout and customer accounts, what we can actually do is if we click checkout, we've now got these pages here, which is our thank you page, our order status page, our orders page, profile. And all we need to do is click one of those pages, click sections up here, and we can now add the block in. So if I click add app block, I can now see, I click dynamic content and I can select the block ID that I had created. So I'll click O there because I've only got one block. So that's the first block in there. And that's going to insert this dynamic content in there on the thank you page when someone comes in. So what this person will see is, thank you, we're building this community, join our Facebook group. Okay. And that's going to be really, really awesome. So we can do that with lots of things. The other thing that you can do here is you can put this dynamic content on other pages. So we could put it on the order status page. We can add in the app block there. and we can put the same content in there. And what that means is if someone's coming back to check their order, we can have that same piece of content in there. And we do know people love to check their orders because they want to check the tracking information. So that's a really cool app. But while I'm here, here's another update that I think is really cool, and it is the ability to edit your account pages. So if we pop over here, we're actually on the account page here, but I'll do it again, and we'll go to the profile page. So typically we can't do much on this page, and this is how it is, but it feels like Shopify is starting to work on setting these pages up, and I believe in the next 1 or 2 releases, we'll start to see this come to life. But one thing we can now do is change this menu item. So if we go to the header here, we can actually customize the menu. So we can click change, and we can change the menu to something that we like. So I could change it to main menu, and we can see that there. We could change it to footer menu. We could change it to anything so that we can make sure that the person that goes in to edit their account or manage their orders is able to get to the place that we want to get them to. So that's a really cool little order. We can also brand it and style it and do everything we want there. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And I think we can even add in the app blocks here as well. So let's go here. Yep, and we can even add that dynamic content into there as well. So really cool update. It means that we can customize things and be more personalized. And I can see this evolving over time and being able to create much more personalized content across Shopify using these blocks. Now, the next update is an improvement to the Search and Discover app. Now, if you're using the Search and Discover app, another free app by Shopify that allows search of your store to be a lot more efficient. So they've made some improvements on that. These are just small improvements. They're just little 1%, is a little bit boring, but they actually make the user experience of your customers a lot better. So the first one here is this combined listings for search. So if we have a look here, typically when you do a search using Search and Discovery, it just brings up all the products and all the variants. But what we can actually do now is we can combine those listings. So we can choose whether or not we only show child products, only show parent products, or show both. So it is a small update, but it increases the likeliness of someone finding the right thing, which is going to increase your conversion rates. Now there's one other little update that's a little bit similar to Search and Discovery, and it's got to do with sort of the data, and that is category metafields and being able to use those across the products. And I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. You can explore that yourself. But the ability is that we're going to be able to do filtering by category metafields. So if you're using Search and Discovery, you can do the filtering properly there, but you're also going to be able to order the filtering as well. So if I click in here, you'll see the example that Shopify has given us. And what we can actually do is we can do manual sorting, we can sort with Shopify Magic, we can customize if there's empty filter values. We can do a lot more now with the way we do filtering on the left-hand side. So this had been a real drawback of Shopify in the past, but now it feels like filtering is getting a lot more customizable. Now, the next update is one that I really like because I run a subscription store business, and subscriptions have got a little bit of a makeover. Not a big one, just a little one. Now, one of the ones I like is this buy X and get Y, and it now works with subscriptions. Now, I had a bit of a play around with it, and it doesn't actually work on my store yet, so it must be coming. But the idea is that when we set up a subscription, we usually just give a discount, but we like to also give a gift with purchase. So if someone subscribes to something, we give them free things. And I'll show you what we do on our store. This is one of the products that we sell here, and you can see we've got this on subscription. So delivery every month, they get 10% off. Now, the other feature here, before I go into the buy one, get one, is we can actually now edit subscriptions directly on the product page. We weren't able to do that before. But the new thing that we're going to be adding in here is another promotion option here that if they subscribe, they're going to get a free gift. So it's going to be a really cool one if we're going to do a gift with purchase to incentivize people to subscribe, so we don't just have to give them a discount every time. Now, the next update that's going to be useful for you is just a small update to the way they do bundles. And it just makes bundles just that little bit better. Now, bundles is very basic on Shopify. I actually created a video about how bundles work. So check that out up here. I talk about how to use Shopify bundles, but this update improves the way bundles works. So if we pop over to this page here, so you see the way people used to order a bundle, it just used to lay it out like this, now all individual items. Now the small update is that they're just grouping that into a single bundle. It just makes it a little bit easier to read. But this also helps with inventory planning and inventory management in this update. And the other updates to bundles are we're going to get much more accurate information on inventory, and even reporting on bundles is going to be a lot better. We were never able to report where we were selling bundles. We could only report that we were selling the products within the bundle. So we're going to be able to tell how well a bundle sells. sells. Now, there's another update that may not apply to everyone, but it applies to those that have multiple stores, but also applies to people who run teams. So if you've got a larger e-commerce business, this might be a great update. And it's an organizational update. It's going to allow us to manage our stores by organization, but also assign roles to team members. So we can see by this update here, organizations have been applied to all plans. So if we click in this one, you'll sort of see how it works. You're going to have this organizational field up here, and you're going to be able to jump between stores using this organization if they're in the same organization. Now, this was usually reserved to Shopify Plus stores, but we're now seeing it roll out to everyday plans. The other useful feature about organizations is permissions, and it's staff access by role. So I'll show you this one here. It's going to be really powerful if you have a team that also works on your Shopify store. Rather than going in and individually selecting the access rules, you can just assign them a role. So as an example, we can see that someone might be a store editor, they might be a marketer, and we can actually create different roles for those people to make it easy to manage your staff. Now, this next update is all about new Shopify Analytics. Now, you've probably already seen that starting to roll out in your dashboard. It's a brand new way to understand analytics in Shopify. Now, I'm going to do a full video on how Shopify Analytics works. So if you want to be notified when that video drops, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, and I'll release it in the next couple of weeks. But the new Shopify Analytics is awesome. It means you can fully customize your dashboard. You can do all this cool stuff. You can design the dashboard how you want. You can create your own reports. You can do your own widgets. You can change what you see when you log in, all the sort of stuff. And this is being rolled out to everyone. You might already see it in your account, and it's got a little customize button in the top right, and you can just click that and you can move to the new dashboard. Now, another update that is really cool if you use Shopify Flows, we're seeing a lot more emphasis on the simplicity and ease of use of Shopify Flow. Now, Shopify Flow allows us to do lots of automations in the back of Shopify, like send emails, change inventory, send alerts, do all this sort of crazy stuff. And Shopify Flow has heaps of templates. And in this update, they've released a whole heap new templates, plus they've made the interface a lot easier to use. So if you're interested in Shopify Flow, comment down below. I'd be interested to know if you want me to create a video on how to use Shopify Flow. It's got lots of cool stuff in it, but just know in this update, it's just got a lot easier to use. So if you've never used it, maybe install it, take a look, see what the templates are like, and see if there's any use cases for you for Shopify Flow. All right, now onto the update that I've been waiting for 12 to 18 months. Now, Shopify Sidekick has been released. I'm going to give you a super quick demo on one of my stores, how it works and how you might be able to use it. Now, I'm still playing around with it, so I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I just know some of the cool stuff that can do and the possibilities that we have. Hasn't been rolled out to everyone's account, but if it is on your account, you're going to see this little head here. And when you click it, it's going to pop out here, and it's going to give you all these different suggested questions that you can ask it. Now, we can use any of the predefined questions, or we can pretty much ask it anything. Now, some of the questions I like asking it are reports, like, what is my LTV, right? And it's going to bring up something that talks about my LTV. And we can see that it's searching for it, and it's giving me back information here on it. Now, this one tells me what is LTV. What is the LTV on my store? Oh, interesting. I tried this once on a previous demo and it actually worked. Let's try something a little bit different. Create me a promotion for 20% off everything. Okay, that's a little better. It's created the discount for us. So now what we can do is we can click preview, and then it's going to take us through and create that promotion for us. And you can see that discount is now in here. We're probably still going to need to fill it in. So it's still a little bit buggy. It's in beta, but we can see it's actually getting there. Let's try something else. Let's create a product to sell vanilla coffee. Let's try that. And I might do my spelling right. Okay, all right, let's create a new product for you. So look at that, it's created the product for me. So it's doing some things well, it's not doing everything well, but I think this is gonna get better and better over time. We've been waiting 12 months for it. It's obviously been hard for them to get right, but this is the beginning of it. Now I'm gonna do a full video on Sidekick. So like I said before, make sure you subscribe and I'll do the full Sidekick video on how it works. Now, I've been using it a little bit around reporting and finding out data about things. So I think that's where it's gonna be really powerful about learning what's working, what's not working on your store. Now, if you're on Shopify Plus, there has been a huge update to the way way, they do B2B and wholesale. So if you click over here where it says wholesale, you're gonna see all the different wholesale updates. Let me click that one. We can see there's better draft orders. We've got functions. We've got customizing customer accounts. We can do a lot more automation on new account setup. We can do branded customer login pages. So really you can see they're really honing down on this wholesale part of B2B. And if you're a developer, there's a heap of development updates. I'm not really a developer, so I don't nerd out on that sort of stuff, but I know that developers are loving some of these updates when it comes to APIs and setting those things all up. So there's sort of my top updates when it comes to Shopify Winter Editions, the boring update. I'd love to hear what you think about the editions. Comment down below anything that you love about what's been released, and also let me know if there's any features you really want me to double down on, and I'll create a video about them. Over and out, team.